Hello, everyone. We're about to start. Welcome to this new session of Speakable Week. In this session called Speakable Solutions, I will share more about how Speakable could impact your organization, your school, or um, the institute where you work. And today we're going to discuss different information like price details, privacy, and anything else that you might be interested in. So we're gonna wait a couple of seconds more in here while more people will join, and then we're gonna start with our session today. We got Sergio in here saying hi. Hi, Sergio. Uh, all right. So, well, as I think Sergio shared some information in his session this morning about pricing, but the idea with this session is that we can dive deeper into this conversation and really check what's coming for next school year. As you know, every summer we try to come up with new ideas on how to improve teacher experience, and we try to uh, share some of the tools that we were using during the previous years to other subscriptions. So today, what we're going to do is that we're going to review what's coming for this new school year, and then we're going to see what's happening with the other plans. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we're going to check what's coming for this next school year on Speakable. All right. So as you can see, the first thing that you're going to notice is that we change our platform in here. It's more intuitive. So you got the products in here, you got privacy policies in here, pricing, and if you want to learn more about our platform, you can contact us in here. So we're gonna take a look at pricing first. So for this school year, we've changed our subscriptions. We came from the free version, starter, growth, and organization, and now we have uh, we have another subscription that is called Teacher Basic. Teacher Basic basically is gonna be the new free version for our platform. We're gonna review all the details and everything that is included in this version now. On the other hand, we have Teacher Pro. So previously, we used to have two options for teachers, one that was called Growth and one that was called Starter. With this version, we want to offer a subscription directly to teachers who want to use our platform and who, for some reason, can have or don't have access yet to the organization subscription. Finally, our organization subscription is now called School and Districts, and it's going to include everything that is available now on our platform. So, as I said, the way it works is that every summer we try to come up with new features. This year, we launch, even though we launched this at the end of last school year, this is going to be uh, something that we're going to focus on today. There are two new features basically. The first one is called rubrics. Some of the old teachers using the platform may be familiar with this. Basically, rubrics will allow you to grade your students' assignments or even your students' assessments based on the rubrics that you can create. So the platform now will allow you not only to grade the students' actions based on the pass or fail grading criteria, but now rubrics will allow students to, teachers to grade students based on specific goals. And this is really important because we understand that each organization has a unique way to uh, grade their students or measure their progress. And with rubrics, teachers and schools will be able to personalize the way the platform will grade their uh, student sections. So, of course, this is going to be our new feature. So, it's going to be included right now only on the school and district subscription. Then we got another one that is called the AI Copilot. So, as you know, our mascot is called Chatty, and this Copilot is named after Chatty. So, Chatty Copilot basically, or Chatty Assistant, basically will help you to create activities. So this is something that we can check out later, and I'll show you how it works. But very um, brief summary of how it works is that Chatty basically you just need to type a prompt where you ask Chatty to create an activity with certain specifications, and now Chatty will be able to create the whole activity, saving you more time. Remember, guys, our goal at Speakable is saving you more time so you can enjoy and spend uh, more time outside the grading space. So, that being said, these are like our new launch features. And now let's go and review what is coming for the other subscriptions. So, first, we got the teacher basic subscription. This is basically our new free subscription. Previously, on free subscriptions, you only had the chance to use the repeat cards. This is something that we want to change. So now you have access to more interesting things. The first thing that you can see here is that you have an activity creation, you have full access to all the activities that other teachers have created, uh, and you have access to the AI builder. Then on instant feedback, our free basic plan called now Teacher Basic will give you access to the repeat cards and to multiple choice questions. In terms of auto grading, Teacher Basic Plan will auto grade the repeat cards. So it's going to determine whether the student completed or not, or passed or failed this activity, and also to multiple choice activities. In terms of collaboration, you will have access to our global library. So this is where you're going to find the activities that other teachers have created, but you will be also able to join Spaces. Spaces was launched, I would say, like May, probably April or May, and the goal with Spaces is to have a place where you can collaborate with other teachers within your organization. That could be uh, language teachers that share the same language, or teachers within the same school or district. Our goal is to create a large community where teachers can share content, ideas, or any specific goals or tips in order to create like a better space. So with Spaces, our final goal is to have like communities, not only within organizations, but also uh, across the US, where you can like share different things. Then we have progress tracking. So in progress tracking, you're going to have access to the all the assignment results. So basically, once your students complete the assignment, you will see uh, the results. And I think this is something that we can delve deeper later, so I can share more with you about these assignment results. And then with integration, so this is really important because this is something that we keep offering right now, and it's going to be integrations with Clever and Google Classroom. That's it for the Teacher Basic Plan. So now let's jump to the Teacher Pro Plan. So the Teacher Pro Plan used to be a plan which was charged monthly, or it could be paid on an annual basis. For this school year, the Teacher Pro Plan will be only offered on a yearly basis. So the price of this subscription is going to be $180, and this is going to have a lot of upgrades compared to the starter and the growth plan. So the first thing that you're going to notice, of course, is that you have full access to the activity creation and the AI builder. On top of that, the instant feedback, this is where everything changes for this school year, because on instant feedback, the teacher pro plan will offer the repeat card, the multiple choice options, but also we will offer a free response card. For those of you who are not familiar with the response card, basically this allows your students to uh, engage with the platform by answering a prompt or a question. So the idea with this is that your students can answer a relevant question with whatever the topic that you're teaching on a specific language is, and the platform will basically uh, offer feedback to it. So it's a feedback based on the context of the question. This is really important because that's going to be the main difference with the response card offer on the organization plan. Then we have auto grading. So as I said, this will be everything that uh, the teacher basic plan includes. So the repeat pass and fail grading, multiple choice, and a free response pass and fail. So the way it works is that based on the prompt that your students are responding, the platform will determine whether they passed or not. If they didn't, the platform will ask them to try again. In terms of collaboration, uh, it will include the same items as our teacher basic plan. So it's going to be global library and the ability to create and join spaces and progress tracking. This is where it goes more advanced because not only you will be not only you'll have access to assignment results, but you will also have access to the gradebook. And basically, the gradebook is going to show you everything that, well, all the scores that your students had on the different assignments. Finally, you'll have integrations with Clever and Google Classroom, and you'll have a chat support where you can like ask as many questions as you want related with your Speakable account. And now we have the school and district organization. So this is going to depend on the needs of each school or district. This is very unique for each scenario. So feel free to request quote. Sometimes we got teachers afraid of asking the price because they might think that their organization might not have the budget. But believe me when I'm telling you this, there's always money available, guys. So feel free to ask and let us handle this situation because sometimes there's like grants available. Sometimes there are funds available from federal level or district level. So be confident whenever you want to try a speakable at an organization level, reach out to us, request a quote, and we're gonna help you achieve or well get a speakable at your school or district. So let's get details about how this platform, sorry, this subscription is going to work for this school year. The first thing, as I mentioned, is that the price will depend on each unique scenario. Um, but then, in terms of the feedback that we are going to offer, so first thing in here that you're going to see is that uh, we offer the same things that are offered on the other subscriptions, but these are then the response cards are the ones that include more details. So the first thing, of course, repeat card, multiple choice cards. Then we got the free response cards, and this is where magic is happening at the at Speakable. So because we include some new features in here. So the first thing that you're going to have access through the response card on the school and district subscription are the ability to choose between a um, pass and fail or a score uh, grading criteria. And this is really important because this is where the rubrics are going to work. So previously, we only had the option to grade the response of your students based on the prompt. But now with rubrics, you're going to be able to determine what's the score of your students based on different components that rubrics can grade or measure. Then aside from that, you get grammar insights. This is especially relevant for world language and ESL courses, because this is where your students are gonna be able to improve their vocabulary and the way they use the language. Why, guys? Because this is where they will get the instant feedback and get their relevant knowledge about where they need to improve. Then you get a suggested response. The suggested response pretty much works as uh, an answer without the mistakes that your students made during their practice. And you get a WIDA or ACTFL level. Remember, guys, this is really important because a lot of you ask about this. WIDA and ACTFL proficiency estimations are based so on the student's response. Sometimes we get teachers saying like, "Oh, I got a really advanced student who got uh, a, a low estimation," and the answer is because it's based on that unique response. The platform will not take into account their previous response. It's going to only grade uh, that response. So it's really important for you to have an idea of this proficiency estimation. But it's still, based on this, our ACTFL and WIA estimations are really accurate. This is something that I've discussed in the past with some of you. Teachers who are PhD or people who are really into WIDA or ACTFL, they've shared with us how impressed they are because of the accuracy of our estimations. So this is really a useful tool when you want to measure where your students are. And then a score justification. So this is really important because it's now going to let your students know why they got that score, how they can improve. And this is very relevant in today's world where students are trying to access more and they ask why. Well, the score justification is going to help you with that. Then we got auto grading. With auto grading, we have the repeat pass and fail option. We have multiple choice. And for free response, we're going to get a recording transcript. This is especially relevant and useful whenever you had a lot of students. We got some teachers who have up to 200 students. We got others who may have 50, 100, 150. So when you don't have to listen to all your students, but you can read the transcription or the transcript, it's a tool that really saves a lot of time. Then we get the grammar insights. So as I mentioned, based on your students' response, the platform will offer grammar insights, letting them know how they can improve their answer, basically. And a simple pass and fail uh, score based on the rubrics. So this is something that I just shared with you guys. But it's really important because now the students will be able to see why the platform is grading that or giving them that grade. And again, a WIDA or actual proficiency estimation and AI rubric builder. This AI rubric builder it's will enable you to create your own rubric. So remember, we offer a standard set of rubrics based on what we consider it's important, but each unique organization, whether it is a school or a district, has a unique set of rubrics. And with this AI rubric, you just need to enter your rubrics and the platform will create a rubric so you can grade your students based on that. Then we got the global library for collaboration. We got the ability to create and join spaces. So it's really important that you, with these two subscriptions, with these two paid subscriptions, you can not only join the space, but you can also create the space. And then you get the organization library. Finally, in terms of tracking, you can now track your students' progress with their WIDA or ACTFL level. You can see your students' analytics. This is really important in today's world, guys, because everything is about data. And one of the things that is really hard to measure these days is the progress of a student in areas like history, social science, and especially in languages. How do you track that? Well, with student analytics, you can now see the progress of your students. Then we get the classroom analytics, which allows you to see the overall progress of your group. For students analytics, this is for each independent student. So you can see what's the progress of each one of your students. And then classroom analytics will allow you to see what's the overall result of your class. And then you get the organization analytics. This is more for the administrators, so they will have access to the different analytics of the whole school or the whole organization. So all the groups or all the classes. So this is like an overall summary of how the institution is developing their or language. In terms of integrations, this is what's new, guys. So take a look at this. We got now Canvas, Schoology, Blackboard, Moodle, and Brightspace. It's important to highlight that we're, as outside Clever and Google Classroom, we're offering the roster syncing right now. Since we're just launching this, our default, this is something that we haven't uh, offer a great pass back, but we're offering the rostering in here. And then you get the great pass back on Google Classroom, Canvas, Schoology. This is what's coming for next school year. One last thing that I would like to share with you guys is that this subscription includes a group of people who's gonna help you throughout the year. So you're gonna have a dedicated support manager. Sergio is gonna be most of the times the person in charge of assessing your needs. You have an unlimited PD session. This is really relevant, even though some of you may already have purchased the license during the previous years, but it's really important to do an update on how Speakable is working because, as I said, every year we're launching new features, and it's really important for you and your teachers to understand what's coming new. And then we get the administration access for user and management, so you can like basically determine uh, whether a teacher can be included on the platform or new teachers or those who maybe left the school. Well, administrators will be able to manage their system. And then a customer data privacy agreements. This is really important, guys, because a lot of you uh, asked me about this. This is something that we're gonna dive deeper uh, in this conversation. But data privacy agreements will only be signed if you get the school and district subscription. This is really important because sometimes there are restrictions from the districts or maybe from the states um, that won't allow you to use the platform, maybe because of the data data terms. So it's always relevant to for you to know that we're only signing new data privacy agreements if you're getting a new subscription for your organization. Aside from that, don't worry, guys. We already have DPA signed for some of the districts in the US. So uh, I don't know if you don't have like any questions right now. We can jump into privacy policies. So one thing that is new on our website is that you can now see all the information or all the relevant information regarding uh, protection student data. Guys, it's really important to point this out because these days, data, protecting students' data and especially minors' data, it's really relevant, especially when we have like uh, platforms that misuse people's data and especially minors' data. So we can assure you that as long as you comply, we do with FERPA or COPA requirements. Um, Something that I want to highlight, and it's really important, is that you manage your data. I mean, you manage your students' data. So whenever you want, you can ask us to delete the students' data. Just keep in mind that everything that the platform will say about your students will help you to understand where your students are at a certain point. And all the data that is collected from your students, it's only related with their progress on the use of the language. Aside from that, we don't collect any data. Uh, we're we, we're in compliance with your state's data privacy uh, agreement. So right now we offer, or we're part or a member of the Student Data Privacy Consortium, which covers basically a lot of states. We can check this later. And the most important thing is that we don't sell your students' data. So Speakable is a safe place where your students can practice. You can collect data, track their progress, but we never sell your students' data. All right. So this, as I mentioned, we're compliance with your state uh, data privacy requirements. So that's why I would like to check more about this. Uh, this is just really an important thing because if whenever a company it's a member of the SDPC, this means that you're you have like the green light to use the platform. So right now, Speakable can be used in states like California, Connecticut, Illinois, Maine, Massachusetts, Missouri, New Hampshire, Ohio, Rhode Island, and Utah. For all the other states, we're working uh, to get this data privacy um, on track, but it's also important that sometimes each school or each district has a specific or yeah, like a specific request in terms of the data privacy. So uh, if your IT team is blocking you, just reach out to us and we can communicate to see if if uh, if we comply with the state or the district data privacy policy. Then in this area, this is especially relevant for administrators and the IT teams. Is that this is the area where you're going to have access to our privacy terms, our copyright, and incident response. All right, guys. Do you have any questions? Feel free to ask. I will be reading all your comments in this section. Um, Now let's jump into the specifics about what's changing for each of these uh, new subscriptions, because we already discussed what's new, but now I would like you to see what's new. um, I noticed that some of you were requesting um, more information about the details on different sessions, and this is basically where you can see what's changing on our different subscriptions. So I'm gonna share my screen now, but we're gonna see the details about what's changing on each of the new subscriptions. Hold on. All right, so now I'm gonna show you what's coming to Speakable. So the first thing that you're gonna see in here, oh, sorry for that, guys, is that in this teacher basic plan, we mentioned that you now have the where was I? Okay, the ability to join spaces. So spaces are basically this space where you can collaborate with other teachers, as I mentioned. Now, on the free version, you'll be able to access to these spaces. Uh, as I mentioned, this can be an organization space, whether it can be at your world language department or on the at the uh, language level, that we're aiming to create spaces where teachers can collaborate in the whole country. Then the assignment results. This is what it's like changing a lot in this description, because whenever you go to your classrooms, teachers will now be able to see their students' results. So this is what is new. So these assignment results basically will be these ones. I apologize for the speed of my internet, but this is where you're going to see basically the status of your students' uh, activity, the grade, their success rate, and the date when they submitted this activity. So this is like an overall result that your students will have access to. Then what's coming for, I think the most important part is what's coming for the teacher pro plan. So the teacher pro plan, as I mentioned, will now have access to the response card. So those maybe a lot of you who right now only have access to the free version or maybe the starter plan uh, didn't have access to the response card. So now let's create an activity in here. Let's call it test. It's going to be a Spanish activity, guys, so keep this in mind. And let's go back in here. And this is what it's going to change. So previously on the teacher subscriptions, you only had access to this repeat card. So now you will have access to the repeat card, the multiple choice questions, and these will be the ones that will be auto-graded by the system. And now you'll have access to a response card. The only difference is that unlike their school and organization subscription, sorry, the school or district subscription, uh, the teachers will have to grade this part. But it's still a big um, a big difference in terms of what's available. So let's create a short activity. Tell a story about your last vacation. So for those of you who are not familiar with the response card, you have two options. You have a speaking response card, and you have also a writing response card. So whatever you choose, it's going to be available on this subscription. And as I mentioned, the only difference is going to be in terms of the grading, guys. So let me show you how this works. En mis últimas vacaciones, tener una experiencia muy buenas, poder viajar a otros países y luego yo disfrutar mucho de playas con familia y todas mis seres queridos. All right, so the way this is going to work on the teacher subscription is that your students will answer to a prompt. You can make this prompt as detailed as you want, and then they will submit submit their answer, and you'll be able to listen to this recording and grade their response. What's the difference between the teacher pro plan and the school district plan in terms of the response card? So the main difference is that you're going to get a summary of your student's response with this description, but with the school or district response card, or basically with the school or district subscription, you will have access to this. So once your students, first of all, you have two options. You can get a simple pass and fail grading, or you can get this auto grading with the rubrics. This is what I mentioned that was coming to Speakable during this school year. So basically, just clicking here, and you're going to be able to create your own rubric or use the one that your school used by creating a rubric in here, and then you just need to apply the rubric to the card, and finally you can select what what type of feedback you want for your students. So maybe you want just grammar insights, or you want suggested response and actual level. And you can even choose what language you want your students to get their feedback on. So uh, you can also add media here, images, videos, and then once your students submit their response, the platform will basically grade the response and offer the feedback that you selected in here. So keep this in mind. This feedback will only be available on the school or district subscription. For the teacher subscription, you'll have the option to use the response card, but uh, like the AI features that are available on the platform uh, won't be available. So as you can see, this is what's new on the platform. So you're gonna have a summary of your students' response. This is also available on the Teacher Pro plan. Then on the school and district subscription, you're gonna get the audio of your students' response. Then you're gonna get a summary of what they said. They're gonna get the grammar insights, and to get the grammar insights, your students just need to hover on top of whatever is highlighting orange, and the platform is going to show them what's the proper way to say it, and then it's going to show them like a brief explanation of why, and then a suggested response, which is basically response their response without the mistakes they got. And also what it's really important is that on the school subscription you're going to get this in here, which is going to be the rubrics that you're using to score your students' response. So your students will now be able to see why they're getting this score, and they're going to get their actual estimation too. This is what's new. So keep in mind, uh, this basically rubrics on auto grading part. It's going to be it's going to be available only on the school subscription. And one other thing that I would like to show you guys is that now with the platform, with the school and the uh, district subscription, you will have access to this AI creator. So now we have Chatty, our mascot. He's now part of the daily school activities. So he's gonna be able to help you creating new activities. So you just need to type a prompt in here, create an activity for uh, advanced students about traveling. So basically, you just need to write a prompt, ask Chatty about whatever you want this activity to be, and he's gonna help you. Of course, it's not gonna just show you the activities. It's gonna ask you a few questions, as you're gonna see, and based on that, the platform will help you to save more time, because we understood this was one of the struggles you had, guys. Creating an activity could be a time consuming uh, process on Speakable. So now with Chatty assistant, you can create an activity just by typing a prompt. So you can just say, uh, this works. Let's provide a response to the questions. So what are your objectives? Duration, your student's language level, assessment. So basically, all of these are uh, questions that Chatty will ask you in order to create an activity. So let's say my goal is to create conversational space. Of course, it's better when you just answer each of the questions, so you have that way Chatty can create a better activity for you. And let's say that's okay. And once Chatty has gathered enough information, he's going to be able to create the whole activity for you. And this is what's coming for this school year. So just keep in mind, it's going to be the AI rubrics that um, will help you grade your students' response based on your specific needs, and also Chatty AI assistant. So as you can see, the whole activity was created in a few seconds, and then you just need to add all the cards in here, and then uh, the whole activity will be created in a blink of an eye. So guys, I think this is it for today. If you have like any questions or would like to know more about the specific information about the Speakable, please let me know in the comments. And remember, we're gonna have a session tomorrow and on Thursday. So thank you so much for joining today, and well, see you next school year. Have a good one. Bye bye.